Dan does this move where he says we have to do a podcast. We got to do it. And all right, I'll remind you. And then he goes in his room and shuts the door, like Edison discovering electricity. And all I hear is a Chicago sporting event. I hear Blackhawks over to the Cubs, Cubs back to the White Sox, White Sox back to the Cubs, Cubs to the Bears, Bears back to the Blackhawks. And the Bulls dunk it. Back over to Jordan. Jordan over to McMahon. McMahon over to Richard Dent. Richard Dent to the Fridge Perry. Over to Horace Grant. Back over to, yeah, that's right. That's right, Sutcliffe. Yeah. Sutcliffe hangs a curve over the plate and a person over the rail. Sutcliffe never hangs a curve, he just hangs people over the rail. Apparently, for some reason. We're running around. That's right, Blackhawks. I don't know anybody who's ever played for the Blackhawks.
Tony Esposito.
Tony Esposito with the Blackhawks.
Bobby Hull, come on.
Bobby Hull with the Blackhawks. Hull, Esposito to Jordan. Jordan over to Grant. Grant kicks it out to Richard Dent. Oh, and yeah, that's right, Sutcliffe. Sandberg over to Harry Caray. Rado. Here's Richard Dent. Richard Dent over to McMahon, back over to the colored fella on the Bulls. I believe his name was Jordan. Yeah. God, this colored kid shaved his head. I'll tell you what, looks like a burnt match. Yeah, that's how it is. I had a couple of pops over there on Rush Avenue.
Street.
Yeah. Can't watch it, Flata. Why don't you go burn a couple of disco records, you piece of shit? Tell your boss I got some blowzine for him. I got a bit of a Quiejo that I move out of my bar. Harry Caray's, of course, the front. For a lot of Quiejo. I put it up for Mrs. Hoo-Ha. I said, Mrs. Carey, time to get the old Yeho up the Hoo-Ha. I just came down from Rush Avenue. I bought some colored fellows cocaine. Yeah, cocaine, as Leon Durham used to put it. Yeah. I'll tell you what. What does Leon Durham not have in common with my wife? Nothing goes between her legs.
Oh, God.
It all gets stopped.
I'm sorry, Dutchie.
By a Dutchie wall. That's right. She got that nickname because whenever we went out, it was Dutch. That's right. I don't waste any money on the brides. I told Steve Stone, I said, look at Santos. They took his legs from the place. That had nothing to do with the diabetes. That had a lot to do with the brides. They'll take everything from you unless you just treat them right.
Yeah.
Unless you know how to put it right. Hey, bitch, where's the Quiejo? Get that up your hoo-ha. So, yeah, we got the Dan Filato locked in his room. Every sporting event consolidated into what? And here's the Northwestern gang writing a script where they insult Artie Lang. That's right. Hey, guys at Northwestern. Writing little scripts. All your little scripts. What do you got a deal over at Hulu or Shulu or Homo? What do you got a deal, guys? Where do you got a deal? Billy Epstein? Is that your name? Where you got a deal? You writing a little story about a kid from Northwestern? Goes to New York. What happens in New York, Billy? It's hard to take it, right? Hard to take New York. It's for tough people. And Mommy and Daddy ain't paying for the Northwestern dorm anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't. You're not having drinks with your friends like in the movie About Last Night on the Loop. Yep. What's the matter? Your Jim Belushi friend not calling you anymore? What, his liver explode? Was she a pro? At this point, we don't know. Epper? They called you Epper, Billy? Sound like a funny guy. Yeah, right. I heard there's a script going around town where there's a character called New York City. New York left such an impression on this kid from Northwestern that he named a character New York City. That's clever. How clever. Sounds like a winner. Sounds like you're the next Seinfeld. Epstein. You're the next Seinfeld, or I assume your dad's a real successful dentist. Dr. Epstein.
What are you going to do about it, Epstein?
Yeah, Dr. Epstein. I don't even know what that means.
From the Blues Brothers.
I know. Billy won't be doing his sitcom today. He's sick. Sign Epstein's mother. That's a reference to Welcome Back, Connor. Back before you were born. Yes. Back before people like Billy Epstein were born. What we call the good old days. Yeah, I heard that Dan, that I might even be the character they based New York City on. That's what I heard.
Really?
I heard that. Yeah. I heard the description is think slovenly slobber.
Oh, no.
Disgusting, awful slob. Filthy, unwashed pig. Dirty, obnoxious, loud, stupid. Obnoxious, stupid, slovenly slob. Think Artie Lang.
Oh, God.
Think Artie Lang. We're thinking Artie Lang. Well, I read the rest of the script. And so someone wasn't thinking Artie Lang because there ain't a funny thing in it. Unless Billy's funny. The whole thing could hang on him. He could be likable. What are the chances he's likable?
From Northwestern?
I'm gonna go nada. Nada. Slovenly slob slobber. Sweaty pig, disgusting filth. Filth-mongering piglet.
Oh, God.
Racist pig, disgusting, awful scum. Think Artie Lang.
Oh, God.
Fuckhead fucko. Uneducated scum. Pig of all pigs, filthmeister. Think Artie Lang. Bad breath, shit on ass, fucko fucker. Overeating sloven slover glutton. Piggo pigger. Uses N-word, degenerate gambling fuckstain. Think Artie Lang. Let me get that picture. Think Artie Lang. Like your mother thinks Artie Lang? Like Mrs. E? Honey. Honey, slovenly slob. Fuck me. I'm sick of getting fucked by people who are clean. I hate getting fucked by people who aren't slovenly slobbers. Fuck me. I'm coming. Think Artie Lang. Think Artie Lang. Daddy didn't give me any money. Maybe that's why I don't wash. I didn't have good water pressure in my first apartment. What car did Daddy get you, Bill? What car did he get you? You just started a war, motherfucker. With me. With a slovenly slobber. Who speaks French and has two thumbs. Moi. If you could see me, I'm pointing to my chest with two thumbs. That's an oldie but a goodie. I don't give a shit if Dan likes your basketball team. I really don't. So, it's war. It's war. Just remember, they can kick me out of regular show business, but people like me and Anthony Cumia will still be coming. In expensive cars. Your worst fucking nightmare. This month, I'm going to double your father's salary. Telling slob jokes. Unfunny, uses daddy's money, will never get a break, awful, pretentious, hacky, disgusting, fucko bore. Think Billy Epstein. Dan's all like upset. You nervous to laugh over there, Dan?
No.
I don't care. I don't care anymore. Keep quiet. I don't need anybody. Just someone to press on. because there's union.
Oh, yeah.
No, it's just like you can have it. We gave away comedy. Now I have a theory on this, and unfortunately, comedy had to be given away. Something in society, I'm dead serious by this. Something in society had to be sacrificed for certain things to get better. That, let's face it, had to get better. Life got better, in my opinion, but comedy has been forever hurt, and it will probably stay this way forever. A time has gone by where, an insane irony happened that will never be paralleled. The people who began the greatest era of comedy, the 70s, because they were fighting against censorship, those same people have spawned a generation that are the biggest censors of all time. The biggest censors of all fucking time. There ain't much you can say anymore without pissing off some jerk off. But here's the problem. It had to happen. Because in the 70s and 80s, take, for one example, take the gay situation, okay? Sam Kinison, Dice Clay, Richard Pryor, even guys like Carlin did it in a much more intellectual way, but SNL, the same thing. Howard Stern, Eddie Murphy, all these people that I grew up worshiping in comedy, and most of the people in my generation did gay jokes. Some were way more harsh than others. Eddie Murphy didn't use the word faggots in his routine. He had a routine called Faggots. It's on the album. It's hanging up in the comic strip today. Look, Sam Kinison used to do bits that, come on. Rock Hudson died of AIDS. Okay, Rock Hudson died of AIDS, and Kinison had a bit, it was that last cock, why'd I suck it? Why'd I suck it? I laughed, and my friends laughed, and blah, blah, blah. But, amongst all those people, I went to big high school, 3,000 kids. There were 580 kids in my graduating class alone. I know that because my class rank was 578. And the 579 and 580 were African American. I was the dumbest white kid. Known as the DWK. DWK, dumbest white kid. I got that. I also had 410 and fucking baseball. But amongst all of us, we're gay people. And they're looking at us, laughing at all this, and probably horrified. Horrified. And quite frankly, I saw effeminate kids. There were effeminate kids in my class. And it's so funny, you just didn't think about it. Look, my people, the Italians and the black kids who were like the tough kids, like the Guidos and the real ghetto brothers, they did not tolerate anyone who was even effeminate. And they would take their money, like literally take their money, lock them in a stain room, and lock it. One time, one kid lit it on fire once. This kid's actually in jail for arson right now.
Oh, God.
He had a little thing with it. And I was never the kid who did that. I let the kids out. As a matter of fact. But I waited for the tougher kids to leave. There's one kid, Jimmy, I won't say his last name, but an Irish kid who was a bad drug addict. And it wasn't going to get better for him because he got beat up constantly. And he was clearly, looking back, he was a gay kid. He got beat up just for that. And, it was terrible. It was terrible. I felt so bad for these kids, but I didn't know why I felt bad. I'm like, it wasn't. Gay never entered my mind. It just didn't back then. It did not. I thought they were weak. I equated it with weakness because they seemed like a woman to me. I did want to let them know I was their friend, and I wasn't someone who was going to do this to them. But they were in rough shape. My school had a couple of gangs and stuff like that, and the black gang was the system. Do not fuck with the system, or the system will fuck with you.
Jeez.
Okay, the system was big until a single black kid, Keith Peace, last I heard he's in the military, beat them up. He beat up like 18 kids.
Wow.
He just said, come on. Keith had a cousin, Dave. And Dave was not the swiftest kid. He was very, I don't know. He's one of those black kids who couldn't play basketball. It was terrible. But the system fucked with him. And then Keith came a-running. And he waited outside their junior high. We had 2 junior highs. He just said, I'm waiting for the system. And one by one they came out. And one by one he fucking decked them.
Wow.
Just laid them out. Yes, we saw the system. The system would knock your books over. And if you didn't say you were sorry for bumping into them, they would cut you. I always said I'm sorry. No, it was a terrible, terrible thing to see. And I never thought of the gay thing. But, society evolves. And those kids became network executives. I'm not kidding. They looked around. They said, "What's the one industry that we can sort of take over?" And anyone who we perceive to be one of those assholes who locked me and my brother in the staying room, fuck you. You're not getting a sitcom. And you know what? I'm kind of kidding, but I'm kind of not. And you know what? Good for them. I'd be so pissed off too. You get mad. Now look, obviously, when a black person gets roughed up by the cops, and it's the cops' fault. It's not always the cops' fault, by the way. Thank God nowadays it's mostly not, but it used to be, crazy. But there's bad cops. Mostly good, I think now, thank God, but there's bad cops. So, to white people who watch Fox News, and I'm one of them, I try to balance CNN, but I cannot watch Christopher Cuomo answer his sentences again. Chris Cuomo asks a question and then answers it. I don't get it. Man interviews himself. When someone yells out, slavery or something like that, you go, that was 400 years ago, 200 years ago. But still, it would piss me off. It would piss me off if I knew that my great-great-grandfather was owned by someone who looked like Walter Cronkite. It would piss me off. In other words, you get anger. And the greatest art comes from anger. Everybody. Think Leonardo da Vinci was a happy guy? Look at Mona Lisa. That's a self-portrait. That's a miserable broad. He was not a happy man. He was an angry woman. So let me say this, that to gay people, I get it. Because I saw it. And I'd be mad too. And so, society got better in the sense that we treat gay people way better than we did 50 years ago, 40 years ago, in the 70s. Black people too. Okay, here's a perfect example. The language that you can use in comedy is way different. The N-word and the faggot and nigger, okay? Also used brilliantly together by certain people. I had a cousin who used nigger faggot brilliantly. Okay, those words, as I said them, even in this context, are so harsh. I'm sure there's people out there, you cringe, ooh. Those are startling. The N-word being the granddaddy. I'm Italian and people go, Guinea, wop. Okay, I guess insulting. They're almost funny to me. Compared to nigger, no. No way. That nigger stops the sentence. Stops the conversation. Done. Game over. Something's got to happen. Faggot too. Faggot's that's a nasty word. It's a nasty word. When a fucking quarterback throws an interception and loses you a bet, though, it's a beautiful word. It's used in anger. And if that quarterback happens to be black, the dual nigger faggot is probably only allowed now in probably just in my cousin's den. No, not even there. It's just like society has got, and the younger kids that get born into these families, they start to correct, older guys like, come on, that's terrible. Don't say that. In any context. And slowly those words will leave society. The same way groovy did. That everybody was for. And what that makes life better. It just does, because those were the last words a lot of people heard before they died. The story that everybody points to, and it sucks that it's become a political thing. But the kid with AIDS, that Ryan kid, those complete gorillas, assholes that, and I think they were Italian kids, unfortunately, but who chased this kid down because he had AIDS and figured he was gay and killed him, beat him to death. You know, it's just like you want those people locked under a jail. And those, there'll be, in other words, because of political correctness, there'll be less and less of those people. And there'll be less and less, hopefully, of kids getting locked in the stain rooms. And there'll be, and the Italian kids and the black kids who did that will be weeded out of society. And the bad Irish. And the bad gay people. And the bad this, that, the other thing. Because there's bad in everyone. And hopefully, you know, we're not going to get rid of all the assholes. It's not going to happen. So don't try for it. That's what people are trying to do. There's going to be assholes forever. But there'll be less and less racist assholes. That's progress. My great-grandfather was always, like I said, always just one letter off, one number off in the lottery. Just missed everything. And he thought Bill Cosby was a racist asshole. One letter off. That C becomes a P in this reality. He was a rapist. Yeah. One letter. Maybe a racist too. You know, but there you go. There's a perfect example. Bill Cosby preaching to Richard Pryor, "Don't curse," and he's got a line of women out his fucking out his door, waiting to have an encounter with him, and a line of men waiting to sell him horse tranquilizer. So life is going to get better. And you know what? If comedy has to get sacrificed, even as a comedian, fine. Because we're not going to survive unless all that gets weeded out. Because you know who might have gotten bullied? You know who you might have bullied and pissed off is David Geffen. And guess what? Nowadays, you don't want to piss off David Geffen. All those kids locking gay kids in the stain room. One of them might have been David Geffen. Guess who got out of the stain room? and I'm fascinated with David Geffen's life. I've watched every documentary. I've read books. I really am. You know what? I never met the guy. I've heard stories where he could be a bit of a fucker, but I like the guy. I think, you know, believe me, I'm not trying to get a job in show because that ship has sailed. But, you know, I admire the guy for, you know, getting out and coming out and doing and making $1 billion in an industry and in a life and a society that was against him. And like Miles Davis, the jazz trumpeter, one of my favorite people, heroin addict, but got over it. Through mostly. His father was a dentist. Now, to me, his old man is more fascinating to me. His father was a black guy who became a dentist in 1928 in East St. Louis. Like that's an impressive guy. We need to just again move towards that thing where everybody's equal. But to do that, stuff has to get sacrificed. Now, unfortunately, like I said, life got better. Comedy's taking a hit. Because you can't have that censorship in comedy. It's got to be full range. Make something funny no matter what you have to say. And, you know, the great comics who happen to be people who fall into the category of those people who are targeted with those crazy words I just talked about, like the N-word and faggot. You know, some of them are the quill, as we put it. The greatest there are in this business. And they admit that comedy's got worse. They don't want to be censored, even with the N-word. Chris Rock is like, "You took my beloved nigga. I can't use nigga. That's my beloved nigga." And yeah, because young kids nowadays, white, black, and everything else, these kids in these college campuses who, you know, are very annoying. I know it's a safe space. God, they're annoying. They don't even want to hear it from brothers. They don't want to hear a black guy say the N-word either. They just don't want it used ever again. They don't care what the context is. Bye. We don't want to see you. Eventually they will win. But comedy will censor itself. I notice it on Twitter. If I tweet out something that is remotely racial, people won't retweet it. because they don't want to be known as someone who agreed with something that might have been racist. They're not even smart enough to know if it was racist. Is he being ironic or sarcastic? Is that the same thing? I don't get it. So they won't even retweet it. They won't touch it. I don't know what they think is going to happen later in life. They're not going to get a job at Ciba Geigy. What's going to happen? Because everybody's going to be a comedian, aren't they? Everybody's going to be a comedian. They're just as funny as Artie and Dave. No, you're not. Maybe you are. Chances are you're not. But now, so what I just mentioned now, here, comics who are my age, 50, pushing 50 or early 50s, that age range. We're in a rough spot here, man. Because we were brought up on the Eddie Murphys and the Sam Kinnisons and the Howard Sterns, and we were brought up with Richard Pryor and all this stuff that where it was okay to fuck with everything. There weren't any boundaries. Eddie Murphy told Barbara Walters in a special a long time ago, she said, does anything offend you? And he said, if it's funny, it doesn't offend me. And she says, as long as it's funny, and he's right, because humor, laughing is an involuntary response. If something is funny, it's sort of intrinsically not offensive because you laughed at it. And anything went. So we're trying to make a living now at the age we are, knowing who we grew up with, and dealing with audiences who grew up on Will and Grace. Will and Grace was their odd couple. My God. Deborah Messing is their Lucille Ball. Holy living Christ.
You'll be able to see it again.
What do you mean?
It's coming back.
What is?
Will and Grace.
It is?
Yeah, they're doing a reboot
too?
For a year. Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
The same people?
I know Messing's involved for sure.
Did Sean Hayes do every musical ever written? Sean Hayes ran out of musicals, didn't he? Sean Hayes has been Pippin. He's been South by Southwest. He's been Judy Garland in Easter Parade. There's no business like show business. No business I know. Tell Will and Grace I'm still performing. I'm on Broadway still, you know. Tell Will McCormick he's fucked. He can't get another show. There's no people like NBC people when they come to me and they know. Oh my God, everything's a haze. I'm fucking Sean Hayes. I am in my dressing room dressing. So take fuck off to Deborah Messing. I can't be in the show yet because I've got more musicals to go. I'm gonna be Judy Garland in Easter Parade, you know. Oh my God, I've got to do Rent. Yeah, Rent. Then there's South Pacific and Jersey Boys needs a gay Frankie Valli. No business. What happened to that annoying brunette broad who was the fourth character of the show? I heard she put on 90 pounds and is dating a homo. Right. Artie needs a paper towel. Yeah. Stuff's less edgy. Like, for instance, I just did that little stupid song. And all I could think of, because I was improvising, I was being a regular Ryan Stiles, was homo. That's all I could think of to rhyme. Believe me, guys, I'm not a gay basher. I would never hurt a soul. I would do nothing but help people. Look at Dan. Look at our. Again, I had this conversation with the DVR. Once again, I'm watching The Sting. He's watching This Is Us. What is This Is Us? And don't give me the same. Oh, it's about a hot chick. No, it's not. You watch movies like you watch a woman. What is This Is Us? Oh, I get the douche chills. That's what he's watching on DVR. I guess The Imposters. He binge watched that.
It's on tonight.
Yeah. Okay. So Dan, okay, let's explain This Is Us. We weasel out of this asshole. What is This Is Us, Dan?
I only got to see about 20 minutes because people have talked about it.
What people?
No, it's a TV series. It's on.
What people?
It's just
People in the Village Voice? What people talk?
I don't know. People at Starbucks. People are. Did you see This Is Us? Did you see This Is
People
Us?
at Starbucks who have nothing else to do on a Tuesday at 2 p.m. too. What fax comedian do you work for? What? Who? So women at Starbucks. Huh? Women talk about it.
No, there are guys too.
What, guys are at Starbucks doing what?
There are guys during the day on their computer all day at Starbucks.
Billy Epstein working on the script. Yeah. Excuse me. Do you have another adjective for Artie Lang? I'm going to say Artie Lang to you. And just think of what's the first thing. Mine is slovenly. So don't take that one. In other words, somebody let Billy Epstein out of a locker. And the irony is, it was probably me. I let him out to insult me in his little script. It sounds like it's going to be a winner. One of the parentheticals, it says, can one gay man take over New York? Yeah, several have. You're late to the game, buddy. Idiot. You know what? I think, guess what happened 50 years ago? No, not 50 yet. No, 49 years ago today. 49 years ago today. What happened? It goes kind of along with what we're saying. Oh, man. Don't look it up.
I'm not going to look it up. I don't get...
April 4th. Shot rings out.
Oh, Martin Luther King.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Martin Luther King got killed. Martin Luther King was assassinated by, in my opinion, Jesse Jackson. I'm kidding. Jesse Jackson's afro is in the... Jesse Jackson, I have a theory on why he grew his afro that big, so he'd be in the picture. A part of him would be in every picture. Martin Luther King was shot. Jesse Jackson was 4 hotel rooms down, and you saw his afro in the picture. I think Martin Luther King, for a minority citizen, government mandates people, or that white people, and I say it, that summer. Back I say, Jackie Robinson, saying, I can find diabetes, it's saying, for people, medical attention, white South racism. The Grand Dragon Ku Klux Klan, Reverend Jessie, back at Martin Luther King Boulevard, on there. Pair of slacks, go semi camp. Boston had mustache rides on the camera down. Yeah, room 37, content white pussy. Thank you. Yeah, 49 years ago there. So my point is this. Society has gotten better, and it'll continue to get better. I mean, look.
Has it? You think?
I think, okay, it's going through the growing pains right now. That's a good, you know what, Dan, you're right. That's a good question. A lot of people, we're going through a lot of hell. We're divided right now. And I think leaders on both sides are acting insanely childish. Look at what's going on with the Supreme Court. The Republicans were being childish assholes first, and now just to get them back, Democrats are. I mean, is someone going to be an adult and just go, look, this guy's kind of qualified? A Republican, a Republican president is going to put a guy who leans to the right in there. Now, look. I'm an Italian guy. Judge Scalia had a lot of strong opinions. Oh, man, especially with gays. And the other thing with gay people, guys, again, how many times do you got to say this? Look, I grew up in the single most closed-minded area. Northern Jersey, Italian, Irish, and black kids. There was a third each. None of those people, historically, are sympathetic towards the plight of the homosexuals.
No, you're right.
My father thought Mr. Rogers was gay. He thought he was the guy who got undressed in front of us. He said, what are you watching, the guy who gets undressed in front of the kids? My mother goes, he changes his sweater. My father almost drove to Pittsburgh and punched him out. But I think my father had better snow tires. He'd be in jail right now for punching out Mr. Rogers. Okay, so what happens? What's the classic bit about Mr. Rogers? Eddie Murphy on Saturday Night Live, Mr. Robinson's Neighborhood. Okay, it's every black stereotype on the planet fucking Earth. On the planet Earth! It's a black guy doing it. Eddie, by the way, wearing a gold cross the entire time. It's Eddie Murphy being so fucking funny. I mean, oh, God. If political correctness is the thing that, I mean, you know, God, he became a billionaire, okay? And his 14 kids are probably happy about that.
Oh, God.
And that smoking hot wife is. She came into Stern once. Holy fucking shit. Holy shit. That is a hot woman. You know, it's one of the funniest things ever. Eddie Murphy is so talented, he could just turn on the talent spigot and then turn it off. He hosted the first MTV Movie Awards. God knows what they paid him for that. I guess he was trying to, you know, plug Pluto Nash first. So sad what happened to him. He turned, you know, in the height of his fame, he turned down a Woody Allen script, and you go, that's what he should have done. He should have experimented like that. Great actor. Charisma times a billion. And he said to all these assholes in the MTV Movie Awards audience, he goes, listen, guys, I don't want to be here. I got to do this, I got to do that. So every once in a while, I'm going to be funny. The amount of funny I think is warranted for what I'm getting paid. But then I'm going to go right back into serious guy and we'll move the show along. For instance, and then he did something like, he did an impression of like buckwheat or something. The place was laughing like hell. He said, see? All right, now Sharon Stone. Sharon Stone cried while she got an Oscar. She got MTV Best Kiss, I believe, and she thanked her acting teacher, Lee Strasberg. She cried as if she got Best Actress in fucking Medea. Best Kiss to Bruce Willis, sweetie. And Mercury Rising, whatever the fuck it was. Get over yourself. Meryl heap of shit. And Eddie Murphy did an impression of her, a perfect mimic of her crying. It was, I mean, and you're laughing, then he goes, okay, enough. Here's Drew Barrymore. He's that good. And in Mr. Robinson's Neighborhood, I don't know if would this be tolerated today on today's Saturday Night Live? No. That political fucking pundit fest? God, is that show horrendous. The show's unwatchable. The broad who does Hillary Clinton, unbelievably talented. But guess what? I'm funnier. I said it, guys. The other night I was at the Comedy Store table with, I think, Dave Attell, Greer Barnes. Chappelle was on the other side with his kid now. Chappelle's got a good-looking kid. But the kid's running through pussy. He's got about 19. Chappelle's a good guy, man. Chappelle's always been friendly to me. I love him. True genius. I like that guy a lot. He's getting criticized for his Netflix special because, again, he talked about gays. All right. Again, comedy's being hurt. I guess society's getting better. I hope it is. But everyone at that table, from me, Attell, Greer Barnes, Chappelle, every one of us is funnier than that chick who does Hillary Clinton. I bet on Twitter, Artie thinks he's a genius. Like, what's her face? They throw a wig on her and she fucking trips over the turnstile. That doesn't make her Fred Travelina. I'm kidding. I don't know. She's probably funnier. I don't know. Tina Fey seems like a scream. I'm a slob. I'm slovenly slob. I know my place. But on today's Saturday Night Live, Mr. Robinson's Neighborhood, I don't think so. Why does it have to be Robinson? Is Robinson a black name? Brooks Robinson was white. What about Frank Robinson? Okay, well. Does Robinson mean like a black man in the ghetto? What does that mean? What do you mean you talk like a black man? How does a black man talk? I don't know. An Italian guy in a movie doesn't talk like Mario Cuomo. He talks like Joe Pesci. You know why? Because one's more entertaining. If Mario Cuomo played Tommy D in Goodfellas, it ain't winning any awards. You don't want to hear Tommy D going in an articulate voice, I'm funny? How am I funny to you? No, Anthony. He's a big boy. He said it. I'm funny how? How am I funny? You mean the way I speak? Yeah. Less offensive to Italians and not making the movie set. We should find the Mr. Robinson's Neighborhood. Like, Wait a minute. There's my motherfucking landlord. What you want? Go away. Go away. The rent ain't come. He's late with the rent. He's too lazy to go get a job. Come on, guys. That's what funny is. That's funny. I don't want an Irish guy who don't drink. I don't want an Italian guy who ain't in the mob. And I don't want a black guy who pays the rent on time. I want funny. So, Dan, you're making a good point. But slowly, we're going to die off. You understand? We're going to die off, just like Nixon did. We didn't have Dick Nixon to kick around anymore. And society got better. But now you got the self-righteous people like Bill Maher. Bill Maher, a very smart guy, obviously, but just king of the assholes. If assholes had a fucking kingdom, he would be crown jewel, my friend. With a new rule every fucking day. What a prick. And he is so non-self-aware that every week he invites on someone who beats him in a debate. He invites on these right-wing people who beat him. They just let him squawk like a maniac, and then they go, well, no, I disagree. And then he's like, but what? But look, he said this and meant this. Well, yeah, well, so did Hillary. But we're out of time. I try every week.
And then he goes to the next card.
Yeah,
he's got those cards.
He's got those cards. Yeah. He's got a team of 80 guys doing a combined 74,000 hours of research on Roger Stone. Roger Stone comes in and with one wink of the eye, he beats him. And the audience is a combination of Bill Maher's cousins and writers. Oh, if they clap one more time. Oh, if they drop the mic one more time. And then the third guest in the interviews will always be like some migrant worker who cut himself by accident. And his wrist got infected, and it's Donald Trump Jr.'s fault. Hey, Mar, pointing out that Donald Trump Jr. is a fucking pompous ass, not exactly a hard fucking premise. Come on, man. I try every week. Can't do it. You better invite a Republican chimpanzee on. His other big thing is he calls Dr. Ben Carson stupid. That's his big. The guy's a brain surgeon. Maybe not the best politician. Could open his eyes every once in a while when he's. But the guy is well. Look, and separating two heads again. I'll give Bill Maher this. That's a bit overrated. I think anybody that I worked construction with a hacksaw and a slide rule can pull out.
Oh God, Jesus!
And how is the family's life better? They now essentially have one child attached to the head. They got to get all this insurance money together and donations, and Dr. Carson just separates the head. Now he gives them two babies. Now you need two TVs. Now you got to pay for two tuitions. Everything in your life, double the pay. I get accolades, a lot of pussy, and run for president. I have enough money to where I can sandblast the Bible into the fucking foundation of my house. Maybe I agree with Mar on that one. But, I get to be a brain surgeon. You got to go through medical school. That's tough. So you got all these people yelling out all this shit, and they're hateful people, and they win the election. They win the election for Republicans because everybody hates them. They hate them enough to where they get up and vote. I've never considered voting. I did once, and Clay Aikens didn't win. Again, I took Earthquake. Earthquake, one of the funniest, if not the funniest comics, I might say funniest comics. Longevity is the only thing in his way as far as stuff I've seen. But he has a half-an-hour special. I point to it every time. It was done in 2004, and it's one of the funniest fucking guys. I laugh my ass off. He's talking about voting out Bush in 2004. I was sitting on my bed on Tuesday afternoon eating. I seen Puff Daddy on the TV say you gotta get out and vote. I'm like, this shit must be serious. This shit must be serious. I got up, I waited online for 4 hours. This nigga lost about 3 million votes. I said, fuck you, Puff Daddy. You don't know shit about voting. Stick to remix them. Stick to remix them. Now these white people got my real name. John Kerry's married to Teresa Hines. Why the fuck would he want to work anyway? Married to Teresa Hines. I was married to Teresa Hines. Say, earthquake, you want to be president? I'm like, shit. My bitch own ketchup. Every time a nigga over French fries, cold train. Funny because it's true. His bitch owns ketchup. His bitch owns ketchup. Let's break that down. Can he say, what do you say? What do you mean, bitch? I'm talking about, who are you talking about? Who's the bitch in the Teresa Hines? Oh, Teresa Hines. One of the most accomplished women who gives away all of her money, one of the greatest entrepreneurs. Okay, fine. She's the bitch in this? Yeah, she's bitch in this. I refer to her as a bitch in this. Why? I don't know, because it's a comedy bit. Because I'm not a politician. It's not real. I'm saying, bitch, I want to evoke laughter from the audience. I want to get the people paying $15 for Rolling Rock to laugh. So instead of saying the accomplished woman, I say bitch in what's known as a stereotypical black accent. My bitch own. And think about it. It becomes a black accent with the omission of one letter. The letter S. If you say my bitch owns ketchup, you sound white. Okay, you sound, I don't know, educated. If you say my bitch owned ketchup, it's immediately a black accent. That's fascinating. One letter. One letter. One letter makes Earthquake black. And one letter makes Bill Cosby a rapist and not a racist. He's so fucking funny in that. But again, he's doing, they didn't air it, but I went to the Best Damn Sports Show in about, I'm going to say 2002, sent me to the NBA draft. And a guy who's actually a great guy, a guy I met doing Opie's show, again, Jay Williams, the kid who got in the car accident, motorcycle accident. From Duke. Great college player. Who knows if he would have translated into the pros, but he got to the pros. He's playing pro ball. Probably went on to maybe Italy or something. So much money in Europe for basketball players. I didn't realize it. Still make millions, but he was on that level, and he's doing well now. He's kicking ass. He's a great broadcaster. He's got a great sense of humor, by the way. We were goofing on anything at Opie's show. And I'll hand it to Opie, and of course Anthony, where he's at, they still hold that banner. You can say whatever you want. I know, because Gilbert and I did. Pretty much. Got Opie to chime in. Bobby Kelly did the smart thing. He was like, what are you guys crazy? when me and Gilbert are around, when me and Gilbert are around a third comedian, this is how I put it, the third comedian always takes on the Henry Hill part in Goodfellas. Like the movie Goodfellas is told through Henry Hill's eyes. So if you notice, he's never involved in the murder. He's always like, what are you guys doing? This is crazy. Murder's illegal. I'll get a blanket because I'm afraid of for my life. And I'll reluctantly help you move the body. But, I just don't want any more bloodshed. They whacked him. You're kidding. How could this happen? How could this happen? I'm just afraid for my family's life. Otherwise, I would go to the authorities. Guys, Tommy, Jimmy, what are you doing? You're getting blood on my floor. This is an establishment that's legal. I have to pay my taxes now. You guys are making me late to pay my taxes. Guys, put your seatbelts on, please. So, you know what? You're forcibly driving me to bury a body that I think is still alive. Being cut up in the trunk. Can you put your seatbelts on? Tommy! Put your seatbelt on. Guys, no. The speed limit's 45. I'm doing 43 right now. I don't care if we're late to bury the body. The woods will wait. I'm not speeding. A Our taillight's out. I'm pulling over. I'm pulling over and I'm putting the flares 15 feet away from the car. Okay? I don't care about the body. This is called playing by the rules. Henry Hill never breaks them because it's told by Henry Hill. He's like a Monsignor in it. Okay? When me and Gilbert do a show, there's always a third comic. He becomes a Henry Hill. Gilbert and I go, I mean, guys, what are you doing? The N-word? That's terrible. Well, you won't catch me doing that. Man, you sound like my racist aunt. Amazing. So I don't know, it's different. It's a different world. You couldn't do Mr. Robinson's Neighborhood. And all those guys we grew up on, like I said, the Kinnison, the Eddie Murphys, like we have to somehow, and that's the comedy we started doing. On my first DVD, it's the Whiskey Talk, and I tell a story that's based on a true story. The basketball story is based on a true story. I was in a street game that happened all the time at Beer Temple Park in Union, New Jersey. 9 black kids in a full court, and I was on the other team. I was 4. My buddy Scott reluctantly said, come on, Artie. But he knew I had a 3-pointer. He knew that for 5 minutes a game I became unconscious from the outside. Absolutely unconscious. I offered nothing else. I offered no defense. I was, quite frankly, slow getting up the court. I had corduroys and jeans on some of the time. And an Elvis Costello shirt. One of the black kids thought that Abbott's first name was Elvis. And I said, I'll explain later. You can explain LL Cool J's album to me. So, no, all good kids, but they were calling each other the N-word. Throw the ball, nigga. I'm open, nigga. Shit, nigga. I'm open, nigga. Pick and roll, nigga. Pick and roll, nigga. Top of the paint, nigga. Shoot your jet, nigga. Ooh. Rebound, nigga. Kick it out, nigga. Kick it out, nigga. And I wasn't getting the ball. And I was open. Okay, that's where the fiction begins. That's where the real story ends. I imagine in the bit, the comedic bit, what would happen? I'm admitting it would be wrong and stupid. What would happen if I, being open and frustrated, put my hands up, waved, and said, I'm open, nigga. And what Dan just did, almost every audience did. Black, white, brown, gray. Back then, people listened to context. They knew the context. I wasn't getting the ball. And what if I tried this? And then I say it again, nigger. It was one of those great stand-up bits. I can't tell you how amazing it was. If the crowd was right for it, and they laughed so hard. Sometimes they could go for like 2 minutes at the, and then I would just, once again, just go, nigger. Another 2 minutes of laughter. Oh, I had time to drink my Jack Daniels. It was my greatest time. It was my summer of 42. Do you understand? Around 2000, my stand-up from 2001 to 2006, those 5 years. When I was 21. It was when I was 21 in that song. It was a very good year. They let down their hair. Damn, the chicks let down their hair. We all know what that means. Sinatra boffed some broad in the back of a Lincoln. So, nowadays, here's as far as I get with that bit before I'm asked to leave the premises. A lot of funny bones are in a mall, a shopping mall, okay? Here's how far I'd get before I was asked to leave the mall. The entire mall, the structure. If I did this on a cruise, they wouldn't wait for Bermuda. Here's a life jacket, some smelling salts, and a map. Take care, racist. This is what we do to racist homophobes on the SS Uptight.
Cast away, baby.
Exactly. Hopefully you'll find Wilson. I hope he's not a basketball. I hope he's a hockey puck. Oh, shit. Oh, my God. Are you okay? Dan just threw up a fucking nostril. That's the kind of laughter I got. People order new chicken wings. No, I got that kind of guffaw. Dude, I remember Black Kid at the Columbus, Ohio Funny Bone. Black Kid in right to the right of me in the front row. As Keith Richards said one night about Chuck Berry, with a piece of white tail. With Los Angeles Dodger hat on, LA Dodgers hat on. I overlooked it. The kid loved it. The kid high-fived me on stage. I'm open, nigger. Huge laugh. Wait for the laugh. Nigger. Oh. And then one night, I remember where I was. One night, I was on stage at, it used to be an improv. It's not there anymore, but in San Diego, northern San Diego. And I thought, oh my God, how can I stretch this out longer? Because I loved it. And I thought of that Bugs Bunny episode where the professor is on ether. Like he accidentally gets in the ether and he's talking in slow motion like, come back.
Yes.
Kid, you rabbit. And I said, what happens when you do something that's awkward? You imagine it happening slower. You imagine like it takes forever to milk out and embarrass you more. And I said, what if I say to the audience, it was so embarrassing that I felt like I was saying it in slow motion, like that Bugs Bunny episode we got. It felt like I was saying, I'm open. And then, not only, and I told Robert Smigel this, not Smigel, Schimmel. Either's fine. I told Robert Schimmel at the 2004 Aspen Comedy Festival, before I did the set that got me thrown off off Aspen, I said, how much you want to bet, Schimmel? This is just as political correctness was taking over. How much you want to bet I said the N-word 80 times? And then in slow motion. He goes, what are you talking about? Then I did it, and Schimmel would have high-fived me if he had the strength to raise his arm. Sadly, he didn't, because he was giving his wife money. Literally handing his wives money towards rotator cuff. Had Dear John surgery. Tore his rotator cuff, giving his wife out money. Had to have Dear John surgery. Not as good as Johnny John. So yeah. But then the greatest thing ever, it's the greatest ending for me. And again, I'm not saying this is a great comedy bit compared to others, but for me, it's my greatest. Because after I say it in slow motion, people are laughing so hard they can't believe that I'm doing it. Because it's also the shock value. But then what happens? Pause, and then I say it in slow motion again. And I stop, and I go, and for the rest of that story, you might want to contact my Blue Cross Blue Shield agent. Another huge laugh, into applause, and I have time to chug a carafe of Jack Daniels.
Oh, my God.
Light a Marlboro Red, and go on to the next bit. That's what comedy used to be. Used to be adults gathering. We were all adults gathering, no kids, bye, fuck you, bye. No uptight teenager doing their thesis on fucking the wronging of the American people and the Native American and the people of color and the Irish American, Italian American, fuck you. It was a bunch of fucking men and women who were adults in their late 20s, early 30s, early 40s, the prime of life, having cigarettes. I used to have a joke. I said, I started out with this joke. I said, ladies and gentlemen, I read in the magazine, every cigarette takes 7 minutes of your life. Before the show tonight, I did some math, and I'll be dead at 7:30. Boom! I joked about adult things. That's what you wanted. You wanted to live vicariously through that guy on stage. Can't do it anymore. So the Kinnisons and everybody, we were taught they were wrong. We were taught we were wrong for liking them. And then you go through that era of, okay, you can't do this comedy anymore, and that spawns a generation of the, the Aziz Ansaris and the Dane Cooks, and and again, Dane catches a lot of shit. I don't want to give him shit because everyone gives him shit. Dane is a talented guy. Like I said, I tried to follow him once. There was a club on the Sunset Strip back in the late 90s called Dublin's. It was a sports bar. Above it was a comedy club that on Tuesday nights, Dane Cook would perform there. And a bunch of people would go up and Dane would close usually. And he owned it. He owned it. It was all like younger girls who loved all that stupid shit he did. And it was all his friends on MySpace. MySpace was big. And look, Dane figured out MySpace before any of us. God bless him. He should also Googled money managers. He figured out how to get all these friends on MySpace except the most important friend. Yeah, he let one of his friends do his taxes. Oh God, Dane, I feel for you, buddy. I feel, I've met Dane Cook a few times, and he's always been very friendly to me. And he's a comedian making money. Get their money, buddy. He's a movie star for a while, and he was never bad in a movie. I just saw Mr. Brooks, great movie with Kevin Costner, and Dane Cook plays a guy in that. It was great, great in it. Yeah, he did fun, like that movie he did that the movie he did with Employee of the Month. When what's her face before she looked like Chris Farley in those Gap sketches, Jessica Simpson, and that real funny guy who's married to fuck, I can't remember the names, but he's a funny guy, Zach. I don't know, one of those skateboard guys. I don't know, blonde guy. Funny as hell in this movie though, and with a like an Asian assistant or a Mexican assistant was funny. Andy Dick is hilarious in the movie. Employee of the Month. Anyway, Dane is a talented guy. He's not untalented. A bunch of bitter comedians were pissed off that he figured out MySpace first. But he gets all these friends on MySpace. And, oh, God, somebody steals your money. And, stand up. I don't care if you like it or not. Dane Cook worked his fucking ass off. I followed him. I said, you know what? I'm going to follow him. Fuck it. I'm from New York, baby. I could follow anything. Now, Dane Cook was there. He was so popular, and his star was starting to rise, that NSYNC was there. I'm not kidding. NSYNC, before JT left. And Joey Fatone was just not fat one yet. Just Fatone. And they're all in a corner booth. There's press there because they're watching their favorite comedian, Dane Cook. So I'm like, wow. And I'm so pompous at this point as a stand-up. I'll be fine. I'm going to kill for fucking NSYNC. Okay, Dane Cook destroys for like an hour. And I'm thinking about my bits about the VCR. And then he ends with this. He ends by, he does a perfect impression of a Tyrannosaurus Rex on acid. Caw, 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 caw. Like Jim Carrey style. Caw, caw, like his neck is blue. He then takes his shirt off. The girls are screaming like the Beatles in the Help video. Cool, 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 cool. And NSYNC are slapping each other, high five. NSYNC is laughing so hard they're out of sync. NSYNC, Justin Timberlake tried to sync up with Lance Bass and high five him, and they missed. That's how hard they were laughing. NSYNC was out of sync. That's what Dane Cook should have said in his ads. You'll laugh so hard if you're in sync, you'll be out of sync. That fat guy, Lou Pearlman, could not even get them to blow him. Okay. Come on, guys. Come on, your mouth's already open. You're laughing. That's half the battle. Here comes the airplane. Here comes the airplane made out of cockskin. It wants to park. Lance is the only one who seems to enjoy this. Could you imagine if I don't know, but if Justin Timberlake was forced to blow Lou Pearlman, and he really likes Jessica Biel, that's torture. Sad news that Lou Pearlman passed away, right?
Yes.
Under mysterious circumstances in jail. It said mysterious. No one was quite sure how the pipe got in his ass, right?
Oh, God.
There was a pipe that was in his ass and coming out his mouth. Well, the guards just know that something fell and they picked it up and they looked and Lou was gone. You know what? He's gone. And there's nothing we can do about it. They whacked him. His gay lover. They whacked Lou. And there's nothing we can do about it. It's real inmate fucking greaser bullshit. Where is Lou? They whacked him. They whacked him. Not that kind of whack. Get over yourself. He's gone. I'm going to push over this telephone booth. Even though it's 2017. We found the last telephone booth to push over. I'm going to push this over. Yeah. So he does he does the dinosaur. Now he's doing the shirtless Tyrannosaurus Rex with NSYNC high-fiving, Lou Pearlman, walking around with his pants off. Everyone laughing in the audience, screaming, and I'm still going, oh my God, I'm all right. I could do this. Now he pours beer all over himself, Dane Cook. Hey, caw. I guess the T-Rex does caw. I don't know. And now he's got beer all over him. He pours a $17 Coors Light all over him. Caw, guys, beer getting on the audience. He's spitting, does convulsions like that weird face, an Ace Ventura face. And then he stops and says, thank you, good night. Then he bows. Bows like Leonard Bernstein at the end of fucking Beethoven's Eighth. And bends way over like Leonard Bernstein. Way over. He's bending way over like Leonard Bernstein. And then before the MC gets up, he stops and he goes, he picks up the mic. The MC, says, goes back as God is still talking. And he goes, ladies and gentlemen, a very special guest tonight. And I'm thinking, oh, that's nice of him. In sync. I wasn't the special guest.
Oh.
The special guest was in sync. Place goes nuts. Place goes bananas. Bananas. The place went nuts as if you were on you were taking a tour today in 2017 of Graceland, and Elvis showed up in the living room. In that same jumpsuit with a fried peanut butter sandwich. That's how much they. So now, while that's going on, the MC wants to go over and join and sing. Then notices me. Rolls his eyes, and like, do you still want to do this? Looks at me, you still want to do this? I'm like, yeah, fuck it. You know me, I get anger and I'm self-destructive. I go, yeah, I want to do it. Guy goes, all right, last before Artie line. He didn't give my credits, which included Mad TV regular, Norm Show regular in its second season, Dirty Work, Lost and Found, The Bachelor, Mystery Men, The Fourth Floor, regular on Conan, creator of Live on Tape, several commercials. I think you can figure out the rest.
You baby gorilla.
That's my white mama.
You baby gorilla.
That's my white mama.
So anyway, I went up and I said, what's up? What's up, Dublins? How are you? You guys having fun on a Tuesday? Boo. Anyway, so, look, again, Dan brings up a good point. Because this generation that grew up on all the stuff I'm talking about and is still doing stand-up is now clashing with not only the generation that grew up on the softer stuff, but they're also hiring people. Like, this show I'm on, Crashing, right now, Judd Apatow and Pete Holmes and a bunch of executives at HBO are my bosses. Pete Holmes is my boss on this show. He's a great guy, doesn't feel like it, but he is my boss, technically. So is Judd. Judd is my exact age. Think about that. Judd and I are a couple months apart. God, that was depressing. While he was winning his 18th Emmy, I was being arraigned. Well, when someone called his name, think about it. The person who called his name, because he won the Emmy the year before for Best Writing, was Mike Judge. My name was being called by an actual judge. And the Emmy goes to Judd Apatow. And the next defendant to be sentenced, Artie Lang. His person was Mike Judge. Mine, I believe, was Judge Saperstein. Not thrilled with me. And Pete Holmes is my boss, and he's 11 years younger than me. And all the HBO executives, I don't think any of them. Well, actually, one I think was born on the day I got my first DUI. The rest were born way after. So, I don't know. But I think once we all die off, and for me it'll be sooner than later, the world will have gone through this filter, and, words like the N-word and faggot, they'll be gone. And that's a good thing. But comedy will be more uptight. And it'll keep getting more uptight until, I don't know, there's some sort of break. But I don't know if that's going to happen for a long time. Because everybody's going to say something. Because now even the liberals are saying shit that the liberals hate. Like they're offending themselves. They're offending themselves. Howard is desperately trying to be like one of these people. It's so pathetic and awful because Howard's a genius. And he's trying to be like non-genius. Howard's a genius trying to be like idiots. What is he doing? What, you're an artist, Howard. You got $1 billion. Why are you trying to sound like Mike Bergeron? What the fuck is he doing? Howard, you've done 5 hours of fucking entertainment. I helped for about a decade, but yeah. Because some people thought it was all right. I mean, it wasn't. You pretend they don't exist. Some people liked what I did. Whatever, that's fine. That's fine. That's not too awkward. It's not too weird. You're an artist who's an original, and some fucking redhead twat con artist is trying to make you an unoriginal. What the fuck is going on? You have to be like a lot of artists are degenerates, like Basquiat. A lot of them are. Not Ellen DeGeneres, degenerates. I can't believe it. Some fan put together a compilation of Howard bashing Ellen and then going into kissing her ass. It's it's so amazing. It's so amazing. There's tape another fan sent me recently of Howard calling Jennifer. Now, he was at Jennifer Aniston's wedding, okay? He was at her wedding. Says she's like one of his best friends. He said at his wedding he developed a man crush on Orlando Bloom. I'll repeat that. Developed a man crush on Orlando Bloom. That, if I was still on the show and he said that, I think my head would have exploded. I don't know how Fred deals with it. Oh, Fred. I hope Fred can still play the chickens when someone acts. To me, that's genius. Every time an Hispanic actor or actress spoke, Fred played chickens. Balk, balk. It was mine and David Spade's favorite part of the show. Spade would be in L.A. and he would text me, Fred's playing the chickens, huh? But Salma Hayek was the funniest because she was particularly pretentious. When she played Frida, the chick with the one eyebrow, she almost got an Oscar for letting someone give one eyebrow to her. And I played the Frida. I did bark, bark, bark. Is that too offensive? No, so Howard's trying to be this, and I read the other day he got in trouble for body judging Russell Crowe. I hope that's true, because guess what, Howard? You can't win. They're going to get you. You're going to get yourselves eventually. Eventually, the censors will start censoring themselves and blah, blah, blah. It'll go back to this, that, the other thing. And eventually, a comedian will be allowed to say one word in their act. Everyone will have the same act, because that's what you're going for. You're taking originality completely out of it. Everyone will have the same act. It'll all sound the same, and it'll all be one word that we're allowed to say, and that word will be rainbow. Ladies and gentlemen, Artie Lang. Rainbow. Good night. Yeah, good night. I guess that's all I have to say. I'll say if you're a young comedian coming up, here's my advice to you. Never follow Dane Cook Tuesday Night Dublin's. I think, though, Dublin's is gone. Much like Dane Cook. And NSYNC. And Joey Fatone. And Lance Bass. How many times has Justin Timberlake changed his number? So those kids can't get in touch with him. Trying to passive-aggressively plant hints in his mind for a comeback tour. HAT, buddy, what's it like? I just saw you on the set of that Alpha Dog movie. You're kicking some ass, man. You're acting, you're hosting, unbelievable. Yeah, I just thinking, remember that time me and you together, we changed the moves to Baby Bye Bye Bye. And that could be Backstreet Boys. And they did it. I think they're all going on tour. And I can't wait to not go. One Direction, I was going, well, maybe they'll take a hit. Those other fucking guys in goddamn. What's that? One Direction's. Everybody in that band is saying, how do we pull a Justin Timberlake? How do we fucking take the chains off these losers? There's a kid in One Direction looks exactly like Mick Jagger. That Harry Styles kid looks exactly like Mick Jagger. And they did a special on him. That's right, I saw it. And it was on VH1. And they went back to their hometowns. I love how they pretend like it's been a millennium since they... Yeah, I used to work here. They all remember me. It was 4 months ago. They all remember you. Some of them are younger than you. You remember back when do you remember me? Harry, yeah. I just saw you at Thanksgiving. Remember me, Mrs. Jackson? What are you talking? I'm your prom date. Oh, wow. Listen, I know you're probably thinking what it's been like since I left. No, we just talked. Well, yeah. I don't bake bread anymore. Okay. I just took a 2-week vacation. You've only been gone a week more than me. All right, well, let me say, baby, bye, bye, bye. You better keep those hits coming or it's going to be baby, hi, hi, hi. Yeah. Babe, I'm back. Yeah. You're back to making a lot of dough the other way. Harry Styles. Yeah, he goes back to that cute kid. Listen, I was going to agree. I'm very secure in my sexuality. I'd fuck every one of those kids. If I was in prison, I'd fuck every one of those. Fucking Heather Locklear wig. They look like, from behind, they look like Susan Summers sunbathing in that first opening sequence of Three's Company. Come on, knock on my door, make it the back door. I've been waiting for you. All the old chicks working at the bakery want to fuck Harry Styles. Sitting there. Are you back? Come here, let me hug you. Where's Lou Pearlman?